You don't need Heimdall's acuteness of hearing to figure out that I was using a different microphone for my Scary Movie 6 review. It is with a heavy heart that I must inform you of my previous microphone's passing. This microphone was first used to record my review of The Bourne Legacy way back in 2012, and its final act of service was bridging the gap between transcript and audio file for my Undertone video 14 years later. Fucking good innings for such a piece of equipment, and it should be respected accordingly. It owes me nothing, and I really hope that this new one is up to snuff, especially regarding its capability of absorbing more verbal abuse than a Dorking Wanderer. If you know, you know. Jackass Best and Last is a compilation of previously unseen footage during the show's formative period, new material, highlights from the franchise's 26-year span, as well as on-set interviews with cast and crew. Fuck me, 26 years. I was in bloody secondary school when this shit started, yet it feels like mere seconds ago since I witnessed my classmates indulging in knockoff variations of Jackass stunts. Such behaviour was by no means beneath me. I fondly recall attempting to clear a wide-as-fuck river on my bike with no ramp. Sadly, the clip of this disappeared into the ether long ago, but in all honesty, I returned to my gaff wetter than Jormungandr's Japsai. Of course, what you want from a Jackass movie is to be provided with a load of aggressive chuckles by ways of Johnny Knoxville et al. Putting themselves through a medley of unpleasantness, and I'm delighted to say that Best and Last certainly caters to such desires. With that said though, it's undoubtedly the most emotionally heavy offering to the franchise, a statement which will become apparent over the course of this video. The previously unreleased tapes were truly a delight to behold, as it showed us snippets of Jackass's Genesis chapters, as well as, and in my eyes most importantly, Bam Margera returning to a Jackass film reel via his previous involvement in Jackass Forever. Look, I'm not going to babble on about the already well-documented happenings between Bam, Johnny Knoxville, and director Jeff Tremaine back in 2020. I'm just happy they've gotten to a certain point of equilibrium where Bam can, in some context, be included in this final offering. The new stunts are not as extreme compared to the ones they've showcased in the past. This is to be expected, as the OG cast filmed Best and Last in their 50s, plus they've been doing this shit for practically half their lives at time of talking, so I imagine parts of their anatomy are hanging on by a fucking thread. For example, Johnny Knoxville can't fuck about with balls anymore because he's had numerous concussions over the years, not to mention picking up a brain hemorrhage courtesy of getting gored in Jackass Forever. I mean, it's fair enough, they've paid their dues 1,000-fold. Besides, there's no way in fuck I'd attempt the new stuff, and I'm younger and nowhere near as physically broken. However, Best and Last is still nasty enough to earn a rated 18 from the British Board of Film Classification, which, even if you removed all of the archived footage, would still be completely valid. Speaking of that, the highlights exhibited were a beautiful trip down nostalgia lane, but in my opinion they could have swapped a couple of clips for ones that I personally perceive to be a better representation of their greatest hits, but this of course is subjective. These aforementioned features are efficiently distributed over the movie's 92-minute runtime, and on occasion tastefully broken up by interviews with creative and talent, all of which are shrouded in a variety of emotion you can't help but be immersed in. These interviews, combined with the first set of end credits I found worth sitting through in a very long time, certainly give you the impression that the Jackass crew that first graced MTV way back when are riding off into the sunset. They've earned it, and I can't thank them enough for supplying me with slightly more laughs than a documentary on the sack of Lindisfarne.